I always thought love meant certainty. That deep, low-burning fire you feel in your chest when someone's name appears on your phone. That dizzying heat rising behind your eyes when her fingertips brush yours in passing. I'd known Isla 3 years. Stunning. Elegant. Terrifyingly intelligent. When she looked at me, nothing else held weight. She had this deliberate way of blinking slowly, like she processed everything, then responded with words carved from silver. Our engagement happened under blooming jacarandas in Santa Barbara, dusted petals falling like violet snow. She'd whispered yes so gently I almost doubted it. We kissed like thunder. I remember gripping her waist so tight I feared she'd fade if I let go. 2 weeks before our wedding, something strange happened. A yellow envelope slipped beneath my apartment door. No return address. No writing except 6 scrawled words on a torn receipt tucked inside. Don't go through with the wedding. Check your wife's garage first. The handwriting was jagged, shaky. Masculine. Unfamiliar. I sat staring at it for half an hour, knuckles whitening as I turned the paper over again and again. My mind raced. Hoax? Stupid prank? Someone jealous? I didn't show Isla. She'd been juggling fittings, floral meetings, champagne tastings, venue changes. Her voice lately came with static around the edges. She smiled less. We made love less. She'd sigh in her sleep, muttering names I didn't know. Still, she kissed me. Still, her fingers trailed mine under the dinner table. Still, I believed. But that note, it wouldn't leave me. That same night, I tried calling her around 11. No answer. Sent a message. Delivered. No reply. I drove to her townhouse. Lights off. I walked around the back, heart thumping harder with every step. A new luxury car sat under the awning. Black. Sleek. Definitely not hers. I told myself it could belong to a friend. She had dozens. Influencers. Designers. Models. People whose names sounded like perfumes. Still, I stood there, palms sweating, heart skipping like scratched vinyl. I backed away. Drove home. Drank whiskey. Didn't sleep. A week passed. Rehearsal dinner drew closer. My mother wanted to know what wine Isla's family was providing. My brother asked if Isla's cousin, the blonde with the laugh like wind chimes, was single. I answered automatically, distracted. The envelope never left my wallet. Friday afternoon, 5 days before our vows, I decided to open the garage. Isla had given me her spare key months ago. Said, just in case, while brushing my hair back playfully. I remember feeling so trusted, so wanted. Now I felt like a thief. Her townhouse sat quiet, manicured shrubs casting long shadows across the driveway. No black car today. No cars, actually. Perfect. I parked a block away, walked back, palms damp again. Keys jangled like traitors in my pocket. My stomach turned sour. Sliding the key into the side gate lock, I hesitated. What if nothing's there? What if everything is? I pushed forward. The garage door was old school. No keypad, just a manual pull. I crouched, dug fingers under the edge, and lifted. It groaned. Inside, dim light filtered through the tiny rectangular window. The smell hit me first. Cigarette. Something sweet. Unfamiliar. A bed of cushions lay in the far corner, stacked atop gym mats. Blankets thrown carelessly over them. And clothing. Men's clothing. Jeans. Jacket. Cologne bottle nearby, half empty. Something French. Something expensive. A red motorcycle helmet rested on a stool. Scratched. Used. I moved closer, feeling something shift inside me. A photograph sat on the floor near the makeshift bed. Bent at the corners. Isla laughing. Shirt unbuttoned halfway, hair wild. Wrapped around a man. He was facing away. Tattoo curling down his back. A serpent entwined with roses. I stared. Not a friend. Not a cousin. Someone intimate. Someone Isla had looked at differently than she'd ever looked at me. I felt cold all over. Then I heard the door. Front door. Closing. Footstep. I panicked, dropped the photo, backed away, nearly tripped over the helmet. Heart in my throat, I lowered the garage door silently, slowly, until just an inch of sunlight remained. Then I crawled behind the stacked boxes near the corner. She walked in. He followed. I didn't breathe. They didn't speak right away. Just the sounds of bodies. Clothes rustling. Lips meeting. Gasps. Familiar ones. Hers. I wanted to scream. I didn't. I pressed my back to the wall, every muscle frozen, brain tearing in 100 directions. Rage. Pain. Disbelief. Lust, God help me, still there, somehow, twisting cruelly through the agony. Then the man spoke. Deep voice. European accent. He doesn't know, does he? No, Isla said softly. He's too in love. Silence. Then her laugh. Not the one I knew. Not the sweet, breathless one she used when I kissed her collarbone. This one was dark. Dangerous. It cut. I wanted to stand, to shove the door open, to drag her out and scream at the sky. But I didn't. I listened. To their secret. To her betrayal. To his promises. To her plans. They spoke of running away after the wedding. Taking the money. Her trust fund. My investments. She'd get it all. I'd signed over so much. I nearly vomited. They didn't stay long. 20 minutes. Maybe 30. Time bent itself into knots. They left without noticing the dropped photo. The crushed helmet padding I'd accidentally stepped on. When the garage finally fell silent, I emerged, legs trembling. I picked up the picture again. Burned the image into my memory. Then I drove. Not home. I went somewhere dark. A place with cheap whiskey, loud music, and strangers who didn't care if your heart was shattered or your wedding was a lie. The bartender's name was Ramona. Tattooed hands. Sharp smile. Piercing under one eye. Bad day? She asked, sliding me a glass. The worst, I muttered. She didn't ask more. Just kept pouring. 3 drinks later, I spilled. Everything. Not names, but pain. Not plans, but confusion. Betrayal tastes better with bourbon and dim lighting. Ramona didn't judge. When the bar emptied, she wiped down the counter, leaned in, and whispered, "You don't deserve that." I didn't reply. She said, "Want a reason not to think about her tonight?" I nodded. She locked the door behind us. That night, I made mistakes. Wonderful, aching, necessary mistake. She tasted like cinnamon and defiance. Her lips didn't promise anything. Her fingers didn't linger too long. We didn't exchange last names. Just shadows. The next morning, sunlight stabbed through the motel curtains. I lay still, eyes closed, listening to the silence. My phone buzzed. Isla. 10 missed calls. 3 voicemails. Texts. Where are you? I'm worried. Please talk to me. I love you. Lies. Every pixel. Every vowel. She didn't know I knew. Not yet. But she would. And I'd make damn sure she remembered the moment her beautiful, poisonous world collapsed. Morning light burned through the motel curtains, throwing dusty lines across my face. My body ached, hungover, sore, and twisted in motel sheets that smelled like bleach and perfume. Ramona was already gone. No note. No message. Just a faint citrus scent on the pillow beside mine. Somehow that felt right. I sat up, checked my phone again. 12 missed calls from Isla. 2 from her mother. 1 from my brother. Everything good? Mom says Isla's freaking out. I wanted to laugh. Of course she was. I stared at the ceiling. I had 2 options. Confront Isla now, burn everything to the ground, or play along. Smile. Pretend. Gather more. Make her sweat. Let her dig herself deeper. I chose the fire. Isla called again an hour later. I answered on the 3rd ring. Where the hell have you been? She snapped, voice thick with panic and fury. Out, I said calmly. Had a lot on my mind. Silence. You just disappear without telling me? Do you know how scared I was? What if something happened? I pictured her bare, stretched out in that garage like a liar's painting. Thought of his hands, his lips on hers, their secret laughter echoing while I hid behind boxes like a ghost. "You worried about me?" I said. "That's sweet." More silence. Then a change in her tone, softer, layered in guilt she probably rehearsed in front of the mirror. "Can we talk? In person, please. Come over." I hesitated. She needed to believe I still believed her. "Sure," I said. She opened the door wearing that seafoam silk robe she knew I loved. Hair tousled. No makeup. Every part of her designed to scream, innocent. "Hey," she whispered. Voice cracked just enough to be believable. "Hey," I returned, walking past her into the living room. Framed photos lined every wall. Her at the Amalfi Coast. Her in Paris. Her laughing beside me at some vineyard neither of us remembered. It looked like a life built on truth. It wasn't. She touched my wrist gently. "What happened?" "Nothing," I said, pulling away. She flinched. "Is this cold feet? Because I get it. It's big. But I love you. We're okay. We're almost there. I know. I want to marry you." I looked at her then. Really looked. Her eyes sparkled with the exact amount of wetness to suggest sincerity without spilling over. Textbook manipulation. Only now I saw through it. "Me too," I said. "Let's just take it slow today." She nodded eagerly, relief flooding her face. "Anything. Whatever you need." What I needed was revenge. Later, while she was upstairs showering, I wandered into her office. Tidy as always. Laptop open, unlocked. Foolish. I clicked through emails, calendar entries, file names. Then I found a folder, June Vows. Inside were drafts of speeches, guest lists, playlists, and a document titled, After, Financial Breakdown. It was detailed. Too detailed. My savings, investment account, real estate we planned to buy together. Her notes in the margins read, Transfer to personal post-honeymoon. Request access signatures on joint app. Notify Victor to finalize came en route. Victor. Now I had a name. I took pictures of every page, sent them to myself, deleted evidence. Then I noticed a second folder. Hidden. Buried under tax PDF. It was called Glass. Curious, I opened it. Videos. Dozens. Clicking on the most recent one, I saw the garage again. Dim, that same bed of blankets, her silhouette moving over someone. She'd recorded them. Archived them. Faces exposed. He was older. Maybe 40. Scarred. Eastern European jawline. Long, snake tattoo wrapping from shoulder to elbow. It wasn't romance. It was ritual. She wasn't acting in love. She was worshipping him. I slammed the laptop shut before I vomited. I needed help. Not family. Not friends. I went back to Ramona. She was closing up when I walked in. Same black tank top. Same steel eyes. "You came back," she said, raising an eyebrow. "Need a favor?" "I'm not in the mood for round 2. "It's not that." I slid onto the stool, lowered my voice. "I need someone who can dig." She paused, studied me. "What kind of digging?" "Discreet. Legal gray area. Background check. More like digital exorcism." She nodded slowly. "You want to know everything about the guy she's screwing?" "Everything." Ramona leaned in, smirked. "You're lucky. I have a guy. Ex-bouncer. Does freelance surveillance. Cash only. I'll pay." She scribbled a number on a napkin. His name was Eli. Built like a vending machine. Tattoo of a crow behind his ear. I gave him what I knew. Victor, Eastern European, serpent tattoo, possibly lives close by, black Ducati. Eli grunted. "Give me 2 days." In the meantime, I played the part. Smiled during brunch with Isla and her sister. Chose flowers I didn't care about. Laughed when her father told the same story again. Each fake chuckle scraped my throat raw. Every night, I slept on her couch. Every morning, she asked why. Stress, I'd lie. Inside, I was fire. 2 days later, Eli sent a message. Found him. You're gonna want this. We met behind a boxing gym. He handed me a folder. Inside: name, Viktor Droznin. Age 43. Origin, Ukraine. Occupation: unknown, likely underworld ties. Criminal record: sealed, Interpol mention. Known associates: Tri-Border Syndicate operatives. Vehicle: black Ducati Panigale. Location: rents unit behind Isla's old yoga studio. Timeline with Isla: 9 months. 9 months. I'd proposed 10 months ago. They started after we got engaged. Or maybe before. I knew what I had to do. I copied everything: photos, documents, videos, surveillance notes, into a secure drive. Then I crafted the message. To Isla. This morning, I woke up and realized I wanted to spend the rest of my life with someone honest. So I checked the garage. See attached. I scheduled it. Delivery, wedding morning. 8 a.m. Let her sweat under the veil. Let her walk toward the altar carrying the weight of her lies. Let her believe until the last second that she won. But revenge wasn't complete. I needed one more thing. I needed Viktor to know he'd been seen. I printed one of the photos, him kissing her throat, and scribbled across it: I saw everything. Smile for the cameras next time. I mailed it to his apartment with no return address. Let the predator feel preyed upon. 2 nights before the wedding, Isla lay beside me in bed. For the first time in weeks, she reached for me. Softly. Fingertips gliding down my arm. Lips against my neck. She whispered, I love you. I'm sorry if I've been distant. I just want us to be perfect. I turned to her. Stared straight through her. You're perfect, I said. She smiled. Then kissed me like she meant it. I kissed her back with poison on my tongue. 2 days before the wedding, the air around Isla thickened, sugar-laced lies hung like perfume. She'd grown sweeter, more affectionate, like a snake wrapping tighter before the bite. She clung to me. She laughed louder. Her kisses turned slow, practiced. That night, her body melted into mine with a tenderness so rehearsed, I almost admired the performance. Afterward, she curled against me, breathing even. My arms circled her like prison bars. I lay awake, eyes open, heart silent. The next morning, my phone buzzed as the sun bled through curtains. Ramona. Your friend Viktor has company. Blonde. Tall. Not Isla. He moves fast. I stared at the screen. So he wasn't just cheating with my fiancée. He was cheating on her too. Good. Let her feel that. I met Ramona later that day in the bar's backroom. No lights. 1 chair. 1 drink. She leaned against the pool table, her smirk crooked, dangerous. You look like a man planning arson, she said. Feels more like slow poisoning. She slid me a folder. Inside, photos. Viktor with the blonde. Kissing outside a hotel. Matching tattoos. Matching room keys. I exhaled, slowly. Isla doesn't know yet, I said. Ramona shrugged. She will. Want me to tell her? No. I'll handle it. She leaned forward, tracing her finger along my wrist. You're unraveling. And I like it. I didn't pull away. Instead, I leaned in too. We kissed. Rough. Mouths clashing like glass bottles. There wasn't lust in it. Not entirely. There was war. We ended up in her apartment. Not the motel this time. Somewhere personal. Books scattered. Paintings unfinished. Records stacked by a vintage turntable. I liked it. It felt real. Ramona pushed me against the door, her thighs sliding between mine. Our hands tore at fabric, lips marking skin. Clothes hit the floor like secrets. My body didn't hesitate. Hers didn't either. It was different from before. This wasn't an escape. It was an initiation. Every kiss she gave undid something Isla had tied. Every moan she whispered rewrote chapters one hadn't even realized I'd lived under Isla's spell. Afterwards, we lay in silence, our bodies slick, warm, breathing uneven. Ramona lit a cigarette, handed it to me. I hadn't smoked in years. I took it anyway. Planning something dramatic? She asked. I nodded. I wanted to hurt. She looked at me. Not just her. No, I said. Everyone. Back at Isla's that night, she was waiting in bed, candlelit, wine poured. You okay? She asked as I slipped into the room. Fine, I said, kissing her cheek. Her lips curled into that sly grin she used when she thought she'd gotten away with something. I was thinking beach honeymoon, she said. Quiet. Just us. No phones. I smiled at her. Sounds perfect. It would never happen. The day before the wedding, we had our rehearsal dinner. Families laughing. Glasses clinking. Isla radiant in an emerald dress that caught the chandelier's light and threw it against the walls like fireflies. I gave a speech. People clapped. Her mother cried. But beneath the applause, I saw him. Victor. He watched from the corner of the room, dressed in a charcoal suit, sunglasses on indoors. Not hiding. Daring me. I stared right back. He smiled. A flicker of something dark passed between us. Not jealousy. Territory. Isla kissed me later that night outside the venue, under hanging lanterns. You've been different lately, she whispered, her fingers tracing my tie. Wedding nerves. She kissed my neck. You still love me? I nodded. Good, she said. Because I have something to tell you. But after we're married. I looked into her eyes, searching for a flicker of truth. I saw none. Can't wait, I lied. That night I couldn't sleep. I drove instead. Windows down. Music off. Ended up at Ramona's again. She let me in without a word. Poured bourbon. Pulled me close. Last chance, she said. You sure you want to go through with this? I'm past wanting, I told her. We didn't talk again. Just heat. Just need. Just that awful, beautiful ache of two broken people clinging to the same ruin. Morning. Wedding day. Cloudless sky. Birds I wanted to strangle chirping like idiot. Everything sparkled, pristine, orchestrated to illusion. I shaved. Dressed. Put on the navy suit Isla picked. Pocket square folded crisp. Hair slicked back. Mask on. I arrived at the venue early. The planner gushed. The florist cried. The photographer told me to smile. I bared my teeth. 8 a.m. The scheduled time for the message. I checked my phone. Delivered. No response. Not yet. Let it build. Guests poured in like wine. Isla's friends in pastel dresses. My family laughing nervously. Everyone buzzed with the electric promise of unity, love, forever. If only they knew. I stood in the groom's room alone, sipping scotch, watching the minute hand. Then I got the text. From Isla. What the fuck is this? Where did you get these? We need to talk now. This isn't what you think. Please. I love you. It's not real. It meant nothing. I'll do anything. Just please, don't leave me. I didn't respond. I left the phone on the counter. And walked out. The ceremony music began. Guests stood. The aisle glowed white and gold. Isla appeared at the entrance, stunning, angelic, clutching her bouquet with trembling fingers. Eyes locked on mine. Pleading. She looked like a woman walking toward her execution. And I was her executioner. She stepped forward. 1, 2, 3. Halfway down the aisle, the side door opened. Ramona walked in. Wearing black. She didn't belong. But she didn't stop. Heads turned. Whispers spread. Isla froze. Ramona kept walking. Straight toward me. Her eyes never left mine. Then she whispered in my ear, "You look better in revenge." I took her hand. The crowd gasped. Isla's bouquet hit the floor. She shouted something, shrill, shattered. I didn't hear it. I was already gone. We walked out together. No priest. No vows. No rings. Just chaos behind us. And fire in our lungs. We didn't run. We walked. Past gasping mothers, whispering aunts, half-drunk uncles. Past photographers frozen mid-frame, and musicians holding their breath mid-note. Past Isla's shattered fairy tale, lying in broken pieces on that polished marble aisle. Every step with Ramona at my side felt like a knife slicing through an illusion I'd lived too long. She didn't flinch. Didn't gloat. Just squeezed my hand like she knew I needed something real to hold on to. Behind us, Isla screamed. I never turned around. Outside, the air smelled like lilacs and burned paper. Someone had lit candles along the archway. They flickered wildly in the wind, like the truth I'd finally set free. Ramona pulled me close. Not for a kiss. For grounding. You did it, she whispered. Not yet, I said. One thing left. We drove. Fast. Her old black Charger roaring like a beast in heat. Neither of us spoke. My heart pounded against my ribs like fists on a coffin lid. I wasn't done. Not until he was. Victor. He'd been Isla's secret. Her sanctuary. Her sin. Now he'd be her ghost. The address Eli gave us was behind Isla's old yoga studio, an abandoned warehouse unit dressed up like a bachelor's lair. Neon beer signs. A rusted punching bag. Motorcycle grease and musky cologne in the air. Ramona killed the engine. I got out. The sun dipped low. Shadows long. Blood-orange skies above us. We knocked once. No answer. Twice. Still nothing. Ramona slipped a bobby pin from her hair, jimmied the lock like she'd done it before. Click. We entered. The place reeked of testosterone and cheap wine. I recognized the bed. Same blanket from the garage. Same arrangement of pillows. The altar of betrayal. On the wall, photos. Some of Isla. Some of others. He'd done this before. She wasn't special. She was a pattern. A target. An echo of someone he'd hurt long before me. I looked around. Drawers filled with burner phones. A shelf lined with passports. Money in rubber bands. Knives. A gun. Ramona whistled low. This guy's not just a fling, she said. He's a fucking blueprint. Then we heard it. The door creaked. Boot. We turned. Victor stood there, black leather jacket unzipped, hair slicked back, snake tattoo coiled and visible. A smirk curved his mouth. I expected her, he said. Accent sharp. Didn't expect you. You don't remember me? I said, stepping forward. He looked me up and down. The groom. Ramona moved closer, but I motioned for her to stay back. Victor walked toward the bar counter, poured himself whiskey like we were about to talk business. You know, she never shut up about you, he said. How loyal you were. How safe. He sipped. Made it better. My fists clenched. He laughed. Don't be mad. You don't own her. No, I said. But I owned my trust. You lit it on fire. He shrugged. She came to me. I didn't force her. You were probably already gone, emotionally. Women feel that. Ramona stepped forward now. And what about the others? The girls in those photos? Did they feel that too? Victor's eyes narrowed. You don't want to go there. I pulled out the folder Eli had compiled. Threw it on the floor. Documents scattered. Photos. Names. Locations. Enough for a case file. I know everything, I said. Interpol. The aliases. The offshore accounts. His jaw twitched. You're not just a mistake she made, I said. You're a fucking predator. He lunged. Fast. But I was ready. I slammed him into the wall. Ramona kicked the gun away before he could reach it. He threw a punch. Caught my ribs. I countered, fist to jaw. He staggered. You think this is justice? He hissed, spitting blood. No, I said. This is consequence. I grabbed his head. Slammed it into the mirror. Glass shattered. Just like Isla's garage. Just like her lies. Just like every word she whispered under breath while his hands were on her. We didn't kill him. We left him bleeding. Unconscious. Exposed. Ramona took the burner phones. I took the passports. We left the door open. Let the world find him. Back at her apartment, Ramona poured wine. We didn't speak at first. Just stared out the window, watching headlights blur down the boulevard like comet. Finally, she asked, Do you feel clean now? I laughed. It sounded like gravel. No. Just empty. She handed me the glass. Good. That means you're done letting her fill you. I sipped. Silence sat between us. Honest. Then she said, You know, you never told me your name. I blinked. That's right. She never asked. And I never offered. Elias, I said finally. Elias, she repeated. You don't look like one. What do I look like? She smiled. Like someone starting over. 3 weeks later, I got a letter in the mail. No return address. Just my name, handwritten in neat cursive. I opened it. Inside, a photo. Of Isla. Alone. Sitting on a dock, barefoot, wedding dress draped beside her. No words. Just the image. No apology. No explanation. Just her, finally without a mask. I didn't feel anything. Not grief. Not rage. Just release. Ramona and I never called it love. We didn't need to. What we had wasn't built on dreams. It was built on truth. And truth, I learned, doesn't need flowers, rings, or vows. It just needs someone brave enough to open the garage and face what's inside.